And happy Monday evening. Welcome to another episode of the In 90 Minutes podcast, the podcast that brings you everything Orlando City and a little bit more. The podcast that tells it like it is with no filters most of the time. Um, so, welcome. My name's Ahmed Salim. I'm your host for this evening. Tonight with me are the legendary David Valentin and Misael Rosa. Uh, the remaining party is John could not make it with us this evening. Sorry, it's been a long couple of days for me. I can't get my words straight. So hopefully, maybe John will be able to join us a little bit later, but he had some personal things to take care of. So as always, thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. If you can, we would really, really appreciate it if you could follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Blue Sky at In 90 Minutes Podcast. And as always, you can watch us live on Mondays on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Um, and please, 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 we would appreciate your help. We are trying to monetize our channel and would like to ask everybody to spread the word and help us get some more subscribers on our YouTube channel. All right. So, with that said, we are at game day 11, I think it is, of the season, right,
That
David?
is correct.
So, game day 11, we have a lot of things to talk about this week. A lot of things going on around the league, some tournaments coming up. Um, so, where do we want to start? Do you gents have anything you want to share before we dive right in? How are you all doing this weekend?
Oh, doing great. Not much to add. We are going to go through the particulars. Quick news about a former Orlando City player, Wilfredo Rivera, who this week was known that he had joined his childhood club, Academia Quintana, in the Puerto Rican Football League. Uh, for a lot of people, sort of like a step back. The way I look at it, the kid needs to find a place to play. There's rumors that Bad Bunny is investing in bringing a USL team to the island. Puerto Rico has had teams in USL and NASL in the past. Unfortunately, the funding dries up or the leagues die. He scored his first goal this past weekend. I wish him the best. Unfortunately, it did not happen here. As a Puerto Rican, I was rooting for the kid, hoping that it was going to happen. And with the national team, the guy was on fire. So, wish him the best, and hoping that he can find a place in a higher stature in football. And also, our good friend. God, I just his name just escaped my mind. He's playing in Finland right now. Kid from a Popka that used to play for us in the first team. Um, anyways,
Okay.
if I'll remember his name here in a second. God, I can't remember that I forgot his name. Remember, he scored a goal. He wore the cowboy hat.
Oh,
Uh,
Mikey Holiday?
no, not Mikey
No.
Holland. He's in Houston.
Oh,
You're talking about Benji.
Benji Michelle. Why can't I remember Benji? My apologies, my
I
guy.
didn't know it was from a Popka.
Yeah, Benji's from a podcast, my brother. He's playing in Finland. So he just signed over there, and he's doing very good. So I just wanted to bring that up. And football in Europe has ended, and our good friend Don Dwyer has finished.
Mm-hmm.
There's rumors that he's probably gonna end up somewhere else in League One. I hope it's Stevenage. I'm praying to God that it is. So we'll see how it goes. But just throwing it out there, my guy, Misael, if you have anything to add, or then we can just jump into the particulars of the week.
No, we can jump in.
All right, so let's start out with OCB. So OCB's last game was against Chicago Fire, if I'm not
Not
mistaken.
good, Bob.
Yeah, and you know what? This is unfortunately this is somewhat of a trend for us this past week. If you, yeah, not a trend we want to continue, but they OCB lost to Chicago Fire 5-1. 5-1. I did not get to watch the game. I think you gents were watching it because I saw the text chats.
Yeah. Were you
Not me.
watching, you said?
No, not me.
All right, it was me and John then. Quickly, first goal of the game, Shaq Mohammed, or like I like to call him, Shaq Attack. Humble dude. I just really like Shaq. Humble. I love the fact that he scores a goal. He kneels down to pray. I think I find that so wholesome from this young man. I really like that. Unfortunately, we give away two easy goals, and then after that, like I always say, if you put all meat on the grill, trying to score defensively, you're gonna give up goals. But guys, this is what OCB is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a development place. Listen, everybody is loving Gustavo Caraballo, who, by the way, had a showcase in Venezuelan TV. They're very high on this kid, hoping that he will join the national team. And everybody's on players like that Freeman. But for us that have watched OCB, we watch these guys get clever on a weekly basis. And the problem with OCB is we develop this incredible talent and we harvest them to the first team, and now OCB is trying to find their groove again. It's a mix
Yeah.
a reaction. We're grabbing some kids from the academy, we're grabbing whatever we had there, and unfortunately, listen, the Chicago Fire 2 won 5-1. What about their first team? You know, we are one of the few clubs out there where you can play in the reserves and the academy and actually have a shot at playing. If you look at Miami, they're bursting with talent right now because there's a clog. There's no way of moving to the first team. It's impossible. So of course those teams are gonna look good. But the reality is, my friends, it was a bad day at the office. I believe the guys play very well. Unfortunately, once you surrender 2, 3 goals, it's a hole so deep that you can barely get out of it.
All right, David. Thank you for that. Moving on, the Pride played their last game against Portland, um, and unfortunately, we added one into the L column, losing 1-0 against Portland. And Misael, any updates on that one for us?
Uh, well, just like you said, not much. We lost to Portland Thorns. They always give us trouble. Um, 1-0 was the score. We had some chances, but just couldn't put anything in the back of the net. Two things I wanted to point out of it. The center back, Zara Chavoshi, I think that's how you say her name, Chavoshi. It was her first professional start, and even though we lost, she got the star of the match. Um, she looked she looked like she's been out there for years.
Really nice.
Yeah, very good. And another one, Abello Carey. She became the first player in club history to play in 50 straight matches. No other Pride player has ever done that.
Wow, very cool. What about? I saw a post on X from the Pride about Barbara. It says
Yes,
the best in the NWSL for the second month in a row.
second month in a row. That's correct.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, listen, like we always said, all good things come to an end. So I'm really hoping that they pick that streak back up that they had. Um, I'm looking forward to it.
No, for sure. We have a comment by Ray
Let me bring it up.
on
I
the
got
OCB.
you. Yep.
I don't want to let it linger before
No,
we
no.
move on.
Yeah. Ray goes on to say OCB incredible pass on their goal.
Right. Ellis was the man behind the assist. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and do yourself a favor. Insane. Two young men that definitely are gonna find themselves in the first team very, very, very soon. Shaq Mohammed, obviously, one of our draft picks that has been cultivating, in OCB, getting better and better. And Ellis, who's an academy homegrown product that is gonna be giving us a lot to talk about. So again, we have said it. The team keeps getting better from the ground up. We're not your club paying insane amount of money for players past their prime just to sell jerseys. So it's going to be a slow burn, but one that is going to pay high dividends when it does. I have to. I'm a very impatient person, and I am telling myself that we just got to sit and wait. Plain and simple.
All right. So, any other topics before we get to the first team? Any other topics?
If I can interject there for a second about the state of the club. Um, yes, I think it's important to talk about this stuff because, first of all, if you're on LinkedIn, I
Yes.
invite you to follow the big time players of our club there. I personally have an interest on all things business side of football. In all the clubs that I follow the groundskeepers, the team that takes care of the ground. I follow the people in the club shop. I follow marketing. I follow operations. I am fascinated by the business of sports, especially the game of football, and I like to learn those type of things. Had I had the internet and all this been available 30 years ago, probably my career would have been different today. Um, and every time you go to a game, the club sends you this little survey that you can fill out and let them know, how you feel. I strongly suggest that you fill them out. A small percentage of them get done, but people sure as heck can go on social media and talk trash to the void because nobody reads that stuff other than your grandmother and your five followers.
Yeah.
But if you send that to the club, the decision makers can go ahead and take care of it. Well, I told the club, I said, hey, you guys used to call us all the time to find out everything. I got a phone call today from the my ticket rep. I'm not gonna say his name. I don't want to put him out there. But very nice guy. He's always taking care of me and doing a fantastic job. And he just listened, and I told him that the season ticket member gift sucks. It needs to be improved. Also, talking about the fact that there's not that many events going on for fans to get signatures at the end of the game. To me, it's laughable and insulting the fact that they cordon the tunnel area. The game is over. The people that were sitting there are gone, and we can't go and get our stuff signed or anything like that. Meanwhile, the club goes and posts Pedro Galese being mobbed by Chicago Fire fans to get all sorts of things signed. We
Yeah.
can't even do that in Orlando. I told my ticket rep that. I mean, I went off on this guy, and not in a negative way, but I'm like, yo, we gotta find a way to do this. The club, if you're a season ticket member, sent emails this past week, late last week. You can claim up to 4 tickets for the next OCB game, which I believe is a derby against Miami. So you can claim your 4 tickets, up to 4 tickets. We have said it before. Great venue, great time. Every time I go with my kids, we always have a blast over there at Osceola County Stadium. And also, there's gonna be an event at a bar in the uptown area of Orlando, where I believe Ojeda and another player are going to be there. And this is right before the Friday before we go down to Miami, which is going to be a Sunday, I believe. So there's opportunities like that, but I'm like, I want to see the whole team. And I even told them, I said, one of the things that drives me nuts is like the team picture that you used to sell for $5. you don't even have that available. You know what I will take as a, season ticket holder gift? A picture of the team. I will take that over that scarf. That is horrible. The cheaply made. I even told him, I said, 2 years ago, you gave us one where the letters were purple, the background is purple, and if you're on TV holding your scarf up in the air, it just looks like you're holding a purple fabric. That's it, you know. Anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there. Invite you guys, if you're a season ticket member, and you can make it to the OCB game. Please let's go support the boys. We're playing against a hated rival. Let's make it happen, and also take opportunity of these events. If you don't go and support events like talking to Oscar, signings and this type of stuff, then there's no motivation for the club to do anything because you're not supporting it. And then we're just throwing it out there, and the club is gonna be like, you're just gonna stop listening to the in 90 minute guys because they say that if we build it, they will come, but they don't. So that's that.
Very good. Miss Ali, anything you want to add to that?
No, he said it all. I mean, I agree. I agree with him.
It's funny you said that, David, because I was talking with, I think with Misael, and the other day I think it was like 2 weeks ago, I got a call from my ticket rep
Yeah,
randomly,
same.
just like out of the blue. I think it was before, it might have been right before the cutoff for the Leagues Cup. So when I saw the name pop up, I was like, watch, they're calling to see if I'm gonna, if I know about the Leagues Cup, if I'm gonna opt in or out.
I
But
opted out simply
yeah,
because I don't know if I'm gonna be in town for that.
absolutely. No, I did the same because they don't give you the dates. So it's like you don't know the dates. You don't know, if it's a Saturday, if it's a Wednesday. And it's not like you could even opt out by game. It's like all or none. So at that point, it's none.
Yeah, I took the free tickets. I'm certainly gonna be there. The reason why we boycotted Leagues Cup was because you can't take us to Leagues Cup by forsaking our national championship. They are giving it. By the way, I say it because I love when a plan comes together. I love when I'm on the right side of history. Our boycott worked. Our club fought the league to put us in the Open Cup because there was nobody there for Leagues Cup. No one. It was you know how committed I was to that boycott. My friend Robert came from the UK, and he went to the game. He's like, dude, can you join us? Me and my son. And I was like, bro, I can't, because if I go, I guarantee you, one of those happy clappers, cornhole champions is gonna take a picture of me and call me a hypocrite. And he's like, David, I get it, my friend. But I mean, he went to the game, had a good time. We shared their picture on our social media. So I owe him. I owe him big time. When he gets back to join him in the terraces. He said he just loved all about it. But yeah, it worked. We're back at it, and we're gonna talk about it because come Wednesday, all roads lead to the baseball stadium known as Al Lang over there in St. Petersburg, where once again Orlando City is gonna destroy Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay Rowdies. But I don't want to get ahead of myself, my friend. You go ahead and call the next topic.
All right. So this past Saturday, 7:30, we welcomed the Chicago Fire to our. Well, we went to Chicago actually.
Yeah, it was 8:30 our time.
Sorry. So, just for those of you watching, I have had a very busy weekend. My oldest daughter just graduated college, so I'm lucky that I'm even here right now. So, congratulations
There
to
you go.
her.
Mazel tov, mazel tov.
Yeah. So we went to Chicago looking for a win, and we came back with a single point. Um, we have quite a few accomplishments with the team. As of this last match, we had. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this all here. The one and only Kyle Smith. Hold on, sorry here. The one and only Kyle Smith has officially played over 10,000 minutes.
The Kyle Smith,
The
sir.
Kyle Smith. Is it a
Yeah,
surprise that he's played 10,000 minutes for Orlando City?
I am shocked, bro.
I mean,
I got,
10,000
you know,
minutes? Wow.
listen. When we signed um, JOC James O'Connor as our manager, and he said that Greg oh, Greg has such an incredible hard last name to pronounce. But then the goalkeeper and Kyle Smith. Kyle Smith came out of Louisville, and I actually did a joint podcast with a Spanish podcast from Louisville. Haven't talked to those guys in years. Hopefully they're doing great. And they said Kyle Smith is you're getting the total package, and plus he has such an incredible story that we have told here on the show before. He just basically paid $250 for a tryout. He had been he played Division III football at Transylvania University. Home of the Draculas. I guess that's their mascot. I don't know, somewhere in Kentucky, and he worked 3 years in Cincinnati, his hometown, in accounting, and he pays $250. Go to this tryout. He gets picked. He has three incredible seasons there. Lives two USL championships, comes down to Orlando as a throwaway player that most of us felt, he'd probably be in OCB. And look at it now, brother. Oh, because James is been long gone, and Kyle has been around. He had moments of glory,
Wow.
scoring winners. The guy can play center back, right back, the six. I mean, he's a Swiss knife, this man. And I one of our listeners actually was tipping beers with him at a bar, and some revelation here. Cal Smith doesn't like to watch football. He doesn't like it. He likes to play it. He doesn't like.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get him to enjoy it. Once, but right now Kyle is on a 1 year contract. I pray to God that we sign him for a couple more. He's already past his 30th birthday, so obviously there's some considerations there. But Kyle is the blue collar hero, man. That's the story that we love. Just a throwaway player that has become in my eyes a legend. A legend because he plays for that badge.
Yeah, absolutely. And we joke about it when Kyle Smith comes on, what that means, but I mean, he definitely does play a key part with the team. I was just trying to figure out how many games has he actually played, because if you do the math, it comes out to about 111 games. But that's if he was to play for 90 minutes a game. I googled it quickly, and it says that he's played in 180 games. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's
Well,
a big
is that just league games? Because you gotta
I don't know.
count
I don't know.
everything
I'm just
else,
yeah.
all the other
I don't
tournaments
know.
that we've been
That's a
in.
good. That's a good point.
He's
But
been here since 2019,
yep,
so that's what.
that's a quite an accomplishment. So
Yeah.
congrats to him. Additionally, the one and only Rodrigo Schlegel has now 150 appearances for the team. 150 appearances, and
Again, another player that he has his problems, but people forget he's the one that scored a goal against Nashville that put us through to go to penalties and then pursue the 2022 Open Cup championship. Obviously, he had his moment of glory. If you want to go down a rabbit hole on YouTube, there's when that happened, this man was interviewed by every podcast and every show in Argentina, in Latin America, actually. And I had a great time watching this kid that was a throwaway player from Racing. The only reason why we got him and we got him so cheaply is was because Racing just flat out said, "Hey, we have so many stars in our first team. This guy will never see the pitch." And Rodriguez, I had the opportunity to talk to him at the Pareja event this year. He was the one of the guests. Uh, you know, the guy learned English. Very good. I was like shocked, really shocked. Learn English. The guy had his first daughter here, got married. I mean, the guy's making a life in Orlando. And, I'm going to say it, for every double yellow that he gets here and there, he had his moments. And this past game, he was very good. Unfortunately, we didn't score any goals, but I'm glad that Rodriguez on our side.
Yes,
He's a good player, in my opinion.
absolutely. And we didn't score any goals, and nor were any goals scored against us, which is still an accomplishment. And that is mainly in part to this gentleman right here who made the team of the match day and is the star of the match, the
And
one, the only Pedro Galese El Pulpo. After his 8 save performance that game, he extended his shutout streak to 5 matches, becoming the 4th goalkeeper since the start of 2020 to do so. That was one of the MLS communications posts. And if I'm not mistaken, where do we see it? 8 saves, 5th straight shutout, start of the match.
Club record, I believe.
I believe you're right.
and
So,
8 games unbeaten.
yeah. I don't know.
I know. The face you made there about the whole unbeaten thing and
Yeah. It's about, I don't want to go off topic too much, but it's about what we expect of our team, right? We have certain expectations. Depending on the type of fan you are, you have different types of expectations. And we've always talked about this, right? And all you want is consistency. You want the performance. I know, David, we've talked a bit on some of the chat about our international clubs and their expectations of their teams and the things they do. Um, you know, Watching that match, now mind you, I was away, Airbnb-ing it, and I had the game on. We were down. We were up a man for a good part of the match,
for more than an hour.
okay? And you would not know it. Okay. Now I know we drink when David mentions Stevenage. We're also going to add a rule when Ahmed mentions his son playing soccer, right? And the reason I'm going to say this is because this past Saturday, before I drove myself all the way up north to northern Florida for my daughter's graduation, I went to Auburndale to watch my son's U13 team. By the way, he tried out for MLS Next, so next year he'll be playing for the U14 MLS Next. So congratulations.
Beautiful, Mazel Tov.
But
Nice.
but so the reason I'm bringing it up is they were playing in the Florida Youth Soccer State Cup. They made it to the round of 18, and they were playing a team. Now with youth soccer, you could play with as few as 9 players. You can field 9 players even if you're short, and you'll play. The reason I say that is because being that it's the end of the season and with conflicts and everything, they were down. They started at 10 men, right? They started at 10 men. They got a red card halfway through the game, and they got a red card in extra time. But what they did, they played like they were up 2 men, right? And you're talking about U13. So he's 12. He's going to be 13 in November. That's what I want to see from my team. When you're up, you should play like you're up. Like it was just like, I don't get it. We were down a man and you couldn't tell. They made a mistake at the very end. One of his teammates made a mistake, foul in the penalty box, and the other team was able to tie the game. They ended up losing in extra time. But my point is, what do you do when you're down? You fight. And when you're up, what do you do? Like we just like sit back and take it easy. I was like, we got Pedro. Pedro saved our butt. Like, really? What? And don't get me wrong, we had opportunities. Right? We had our share of opportunities. We had good plays. I'm not saying the guys didn't play well, but we were up a man. Like what? Like, come on.
Yeah.
What do you? I mean, you know what I mean? Like we were at an advantage. We had an advantage for over an hour. I don't know. That to me is frustrating.
There's a comment there. I don't know if you want to read that comment. That's kind of towards that.
Let's bring it up here. Ray says, we are back to Poppy Ball. Same question all game. When will we start to attack? Thank you for saying that, Ray, because somebody pointed out something. I read it online about Atuesta. They were talking about our record with him on the field and our record with him off the field.
Hmm.
And off the field, we have done zero, zero, zero. It was nothing. So are we the team that is that dependent on a single player? Because if so, that really worries me, right? Because from a management standpoint, we need to set ourselves up. But is what do you guys think about that?
Go ahead, Misael, because I'm gonna go on a rant.
Well, I mean, I'll let you get to that, but yes, the Atuesta thing. I mean, yeah, I mean, without him right now, we don't seem to score. The offense is going through him. He does do a lot of different things offensively than even Wilder was doing. Um, it's it is sad that without him we can't do anything. Um, Certain changes need to be made, I guess, to help that. Maybe I'll let David go on his rant before, but like to me, one of them would be why do we keep going with Angulo? Why not give Enrique a chance over there? He's played left wing for us before. I don't understand. I mean, Angulo, yeah, he runs fast, but when he gets on offense, man, he can barely do anything. He can't dribble as good as Ramiro. He can't shoot as good as Ramiro. Ramiro's not that much slower than him. Like, yes, Angulo's quicker, but it ain't like a crazy difference. Like, come on, man. Like, there's plenty of left wingers or players overall in the league that are slower than Angulo and get the job done. I don't see it. That's just one of the changes, but
Yeah, I just found the post that I was talking about. It said it was on Facebook on the one of the Facebook groups. It said in the 7 games Atuesta started, we are 4 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw with 18 goals scored and haven't been shut out. In the 4 he hasn't, we're 0 wins, 0 losses, and 4 draws.
yeah, it's
Well,
pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Like wow. Like when you
yeah.
look at it like that, it's like wow. And to me,
Well,
that is a roster thing. That is a management thing, because our players are talented, but you have to know who's who,
but
and
also sorry.
no, you're good. Go,
Um,
man.
Also in those, and also I'm assuming in those games where he was there, pretty sure Ojeda was starting as well. This lately of Ojeda coming off the bench thing to play Duncan, I don't understand it. Why can't you sit Muriel down and start Duncan and leave Ojeda in the game? This guy was an MVP candidate the first several weeks in, and all of a sudden he just disappears and he's on the bench. I don't understand.
I would say he's probably one of our most undervalued players in that sense. When you look at something like that, and you're like, oh my god, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm sure Ojeda is a big part of those Tuesta games as well. And
Yeah,
Ojeda and Pasalic had good chemistry going on.
yeah. But it's just that
I
connecting piece. He's that connecting piece that is
yes.
apparently missing.
well, I tell you
Uh,
what.
yeah, go ahead, David.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Misael.
No, I was gonna say for you to go ahead.
No, no, thank you, brother. No, one of the things that we forget is that the Sucada and the
Yes.
Cartagena injuries were not planned. They were season-ending injuries.
Yeah.
Okay, and the Sucada one happened while we were there with our good friend Stu, whose team Bradford City just got promoted from League Two to League One. Congratulations, storied English club that had their battles with Stevenage, and it's always good to see good people being rewarded after years trying to get out of one of the hardest leagues to get out of, which is League Two. So, with that said, that happened in front of us, and it was very unfortunate. I have to say that the situation at Atuesta to me is shocking how well we play with him on the pitch. But again, in years past, we had the situation like when we had Kaká, when we had Nani, where if we had this player, we win. If we don't, we lose. And we walked away from that for several years. And I would like for us to go back to that because of the situation that we're seeing. He's not there, we don't win. He's
Mhm.
he's there, we win. I think come summertime, now that we have these relationships that we're building overseas, perhaps we can send a player like Duncan McGuire, who in my opinion deserves a shot in Europe. I still can't get over the fact that he's with us simply because some idiot at Blackburn can't tell the difference between save and send. Perhaps we can send him out on loan, and that can open a spot for us to get a number 10 needing minutes that can come here to the states and set the league on fire. I mean, that's a possibility. In the meantime, until that, now that European football has ended, for the most part, most leagues have are in recess right now. Perhaps we can consider that as an option. I know that Luis and Ricardo are not stupid people. They see what we see, and they have more insider information. And perhaps I'm gonna make those decisions. Um, but to me, it was frustrating, like you said, guys, that we are up a man so early in the game, and I was watching with my youngest son, and my youngest son says, "Well, I guess we're gonna win." And I said, "No. If how we give it, being given the penalty, chances are it would have been we would have run the table, but because we didn't, um, all all Chicago did was just park the bus, just like we did when we went to Montreal. We went down a man, and when we were at home, playing God, who we were playing that we went down a man with a double yellow for uh, Schlegel. Anyways, it doesn't freaking matter. So you know what I said. Those two games, we 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 were like we understood. Okay, we're down a man. Let's secure the result. My problem and my criticism to Orlando City is when they had 11 versus 11, they were attacking us like we owe like we owe them money. They just went at it, and immediately Pedro was saving us from basically doom. A better team would have probably put those goals away. And then when they went down, I mean, they were still attacking. I was like, wait a minute, like who's supposed to be the team that is down a man? And I want to remind everybody, back during the James O'Connor era, we went down to 9 men against Chicago. You guys remember that game? And we like it. To me, if it was like such a moral victory, people laugh, thinking it was probably one of the best Orlando City games ever. You're down 2 men. Thanks, Ted, Uncle. I'm glad that you retired and you took your filth with you. Because after that game, Ted Uncle was banned by the league from refereeing our games. By the way, out of 10 games, he had given us red cards in 8, and 3 times they have been rescinded. I don't know if he had an ex girlfriend that was from Orlando, or I don't know that he just hated Orlando. But the fact is, guys, is that you know we hit the post twice, and unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Football is cruel and unpredictable. We say that all the time. We always say that you gotta play it on grass. You don't play it on paper. You know, we go to think about the setup going to this game. You had a team that got clobbered 7-2 on the road, and you had a team that just had a 3-0 victory at home, and they're coming together. You think Orlando City's they got the juices flowing. They're gonna knock these fools out of the park, but it looked as if the results have been the opposite for both teams, because Orlando City was on the back on the back, their back heels, and Chicago was attacking. Personally, we took a point. The season's long. It's MLS, guys. You gotta be top 7 to make playoffs, and even if you finish 8th or ninth, you got another shot. So it's not the end of the it's not the end of the universe. We're playing Open Cup, Leagues Cup is coming up. So to be quite honest, I'm not soaking on the sour grapes. We should have won the game. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. But it is what it is. How we and I asked the question to you guys and to the audience and the fans. Would you take a victory in Chicago and a defeat in Tampa on Wednesday? I don't think so.
Yeah,
No
no,
way.
no. But you know what? It was just disappointing because that's not the It's just I don't know.
Being up a man for more than an hour
Yeah,
and get nothing out of it is a little crazy, man. I mean, you should have some kind of tactics
it
already in
wasn't even that we
place.
didn't get anything out of it. It was just our attack was not there. Like we had
Right?
shots on goal, but it was like you would think we were playing a man down.
We
The
had three
minute,
strikers at one point, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
You guys
minute
noticed?
the minute Ojeda got in the game,
and that was another thing
he
that
was
was
playing
surprising. Those
well.
those subs were kind of surprising. I was like, I was expecting Kyle Smith to come out earlier. You know what I mean? It was like, what are we doing? We're attacking more? I'm like that did have me pleasantly surprised though. And anybody watching, don't think that I'm being super critical of the team. It's just this is not what we want.
We want to win. And
Yes.
one of the things I told my Taker rep when he called me, and I said, hey, listen, the real fans of this club, they don't need trophy lifting every year to love the club, to sign up for season tickets and all that. They just wanna be entertained. They just wanna have a lot of fun. And you know what drives the ladies crazy? Scoring goals, scoring goals, scoring goals. And if you don't hook people. While I have to tell you, I have said the story 1,000 times. My good friend Kenneth Ortiz, who was my co-host at Tiro de Esquina podcast for 4.5 years. Um, he went to his first four Orlando City games, all losses, no goals, and he fell in love with them. So,
Mhm.
you know, it takes a special kind of person, right? But the reality is, you got to score goals if you want to, promote the product.
You know what it is? It's not about that we drew. It's how you draw. Because I always say if we go down, if we lose, and we lose a match that we fought to the last minute, okay, I could deal with that. I just feel like that should have been a win for us, especially being a man up and seeing that Chicago is in what place? Were they in 10th? I think. Hold on.
I'll tell you here in a second.
While you look for that really quick, Ray made another comment that said it's not like Chicago is known for their defense.
Exactly. Thank you.
And
They're in
yeah,
11th. They're in 11th
yeah.
right
And I was going to say about that comment about their defense, they just gave up 7 goals last week to Nashville.
Yes. And you know what? To somebody else's point, coming off of that, they probably have a chip on their shoulder. They're like, we have something to prove. We got to do
Yeah,
that.
John said that, and I do understand that because usually teams all around the world, even in different sports, are like that. But we were up a man for more than an hour, man.
But like we've always said it, David said it, I've said it, John said it. We are the ones we're a very giving team. We are the ones to say, you know what, you're not feeling well about how you're playing. Allow me to help you with that.
Charity FC.
So,
I
it-
I I, I want to know, why is Ramiro Enrique in the doghouse? You guys in the doghouse.
I mean, that's another whole thing. The dynamic there behind the scenes. I remember when we were at the game together. I said to
Mhm.
Misael, I'm like, Misael, I would pay extra, and if anybody from the front office is listening or Apple TV, if we can get audio feeds from the players, they're on the
Players
pitch,
mic'd up.
mic'd up, and then behind the scenes in the locker room, unedited, TVMA rated, whatever you want, I would pay for that extra add-on. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, to be a fly on the wall. Yeah.
Just to hear it all. To hear it all, hear what happens
I gotta
behind
tell you one
that ain't
thing.
gonna happen.
Ramiro Enrique, you know how he I fell in love with that player. I can't remember the game, but I remember the kid throwing himself head first out
Yes.
of cross,
Yes.
head first. I'm like, thank God he didn't hit the post. He paraplegic. When you have an individual, and Argentinians are classic for this, that you kill yourself out there. People paid their ticket. You got to reward them when you go with that attitude. His father's a World Cup champion, 1986. Um, and the apple doesn't fall far away from the tree. This guy is a player that I'm very high on, simply because of attitudes like that. How many times in Orlando we have people that didn't give a crap if we won or lost? As long as that check cleared the bank. This kid is not playing, and when he goes out there, he plays as if he was born and raised in Orlando. I can't ask for
Mhm.
anything else. I believe that the reason why he's not playing is because Duncan was never meant to be here. The club has said it before. He was
Yeah.
supposed to be gone. That's the reason why we signed Muriel, and then all of a sudden we find ourselves with all these weapons in the club, and how what I'm saying. I mean, the cake is only so big, so I understand that part. That's why I'm hoping that Duncan can find a place where we can send him on loan, kill it, make some money out of him, and move on. I think while Duncan had some incredible goals, and obviously as an American, people want to have the local kid do well. But the reality is that Duncan is for bigger stages, and I think Ramiro, having great seasons in MLS, he can find himself in Europe as well. But the reality is that we have some unfortunate situations, season-ending injuries, some moron in Greater Manchester not hitting send when he was hit save, that created the situations that we have. How we manage, I think we're doing fantastic for the situation that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
So with that said, I know it's asking from fans that is short for fanatical, restraint and and patience is counterproductive. But I believe that come summer we probably gonna sort this out, because the reality is that while the spin, by the way, I want to I found out who our social media manager is. This young man has
Connor.
yeah, he has his personal account on TikTok, where he shows you the behind the scenes, how he creates the videos and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a friend of the podcasters. We know that because under the old regime, we were, especially yours truly, was persona non grata around the club. So yeah, so the fact is that um God, I lost my train of thought. But the fact is that Duncan deserves to be in a better place, and you know, we just gotta, like I said, we just gotta be patient. Hopefully, the summer will bring good news. And I say the summer is we're talking about next month. We're already in May, so hopefully, like I said, what else can be said about Chicago? Well, it wasn't meant to be. We got a point, better than a loss. And that, but I was going with our social medias. I mean, he's spinning it beautifully. I mean, he probably has a future in politics because he's spin. He's like, hey, we haven't lost in 8 games. But reality is they've been mostly ties, nil nils. And like we always say, nil nils is like kissing your cousin. Felt good, but you can brag about it. I mean, you can, but people are gonna judge you. So yeah. So we'll see what happens when they come down here. Probably we'll score 10 on them, just to for good measure.
I think they're coming here soon too.
Yeah, I think so. They are. You're right. I'll tell you when. Hold on. They are going to be here
At the end of the
on
month, the
May
last day.
31st. May
Yeah.
31st. Saturday, May 31st will be a rematch with the Chicago Fire. So, thoughts? Any additional thoughts on that? Where is David? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just
No,
disappeared for a
just
little
like
away.
just like he said, at the end of the day, it wasn't a loss, and all we can do is go forward from there. I don't know if you want to touch on Wednesday.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go ahead and talk about that. I thought, I mean, you wanted to talk about the our overseas clubs.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah,
The reason David's bringing this up is because we talk a lot about at one point there was the whole thing with Oscar and how the performance was, and people said you guys are crazy, you guys are overreacting, you guys are you hate Oscar, you don't like Oscar. And once in a while, it's like when I talk to my kids and I tell them to do things, and you know you get jaded because you're like, okay, maybe I'm overreacting, and then I talk to another parent and they're like, oh, I do the same thing, so it makes you feel better about yourself, right? Well, my international club has recently gone through something, and so has David's. And you know what it's done for me? It has reassured me that I am not crazy, neither is David, neither are a majority of us as fans. So, my Egyptian club, their name is the Ahli, Al Ahli, and they are
which by the way is gonna be playing
Pessi and friends at
Pifanel
the Cup.
Pesi.
Yep, Pessi and friends. We will be playing them June, over in the what's the name of the stadium? The Hard Rock,
Uh,
the Hard
Hard
Rock
Rock,
Stadium.
yeah.
Yeah, because Miami doesn't actually have a stadium. Anyway, what the reason I'm bringing this up is my team has had a coach for the last 3 years. 2019, 29. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. 22. So he's been there for 3 years. The contract is not finished. For the first time in 5 years, they did not make it to the Champions League final. And you know what happened? They got rid of her coach. Now you would think they're not going to get rid of their coach because of that. They probably had a lot of things. Well, allow me to tell you some of the accomplishments that this gentleman has done in basically 2 years. 11 titles, including 2 Egyptian Premier League titles, 2 Egypt Cups, 4 Super Cups, 2 Confederation Championship League titles, and a bronze medal in the 2023 FIFA Club World Cup, which is where we're going to be playing Pessi and friends. That does not sound like an unsuccessful coach to me. I don't know about you guys. To me, that is like if we had a quarter of that, we'd be thrilled, right? Now, obviously, we're talking different leagues. It's international. There's different amounts of play. But what I'm trying to say is this is considered a successful team. They're not in 8th place. They're not in 12th place. They're like maybe 3rd place, if that. And that's how you treat a coach?
I'm about to add to that.
Please do.
I'm about to add to that. As this past weekend was the Haifa Derby, where my beloved Green Machine kills Kings of the North, Kings of the Galilee, Maccabi Haifa, was facing their in in the city's uh, rival. They share the city with Hapoel Haifa. In fact, Hapoel Haifa has been going through such turmoil that they rent the stadium from Maccabi Haifa. Imagine Miami and Orlando having a setup like that. I mean, come on. And the Bakar, the manager, was successful with the club, so much so that he went on to manage, I believe is the Sarajevo Red Stars in Serbia. Anyhow, he didn't last long there. Let's just say that. These are the honors of this young. I mean, he's not a young man, but this laborer of football with Maccabi Haifa. Israel Premier League 2021, 2021, 2022, 2023. So 3 championships in a row after a 13-year drought. One Israeli Super Cup, one Israeli Total Cup, which is basically their Open Cup, the version of the Open Cup. Also took Maccabi Haifa to the European Champions League, only being knocked out in Haifa by Pessi and company with PSG. In fact, the 5 goals that he scored on that game gave him the Ballon d'Or. I call BS, but that's whatever. Let's make an excuse to keep gifting this man trophies. Um, and the reason why he got fired, guys, because they lost to Hapoel 5-0, and he needed the national police. Okay, the guys that basically are like border guards, the national police to leave the stadium after that. I watched the videos. I'm not condoning violence. I'm not condoning anything like that. But that's I saw the videos of the fans yelling, screaming at the at Ahmed's
Yes,
coach.
throwing
Uh,
water bottles. And by the way, they're finding those fans and taking care of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean that and I want to bring up the conversation that when I asked Oscar how he dealt with the adversity and people coming for his job, he's like, "Hey, listen, I remember vividly when I was 10 years old, my dad screaming the most vile things to the coach of my local club, and I understand it, I get it." To finish with this thing, because Maccabi Haifa, Maccabi Hapoel Haifa, they are this type of clubs that are clouded by sectarianism, religion, political standpoints, like many clubs in the world. you know Losing to them is just, you can lose to every single game, every single team in the league, but you have to win that derby. And after owning them over and over for the last 10 years, to lose, you will say, oh, it's an overreaction. Well, they fire him, they fire his assistants, they fire the training staff, they fired the manager of the reserves, the academy. They clean house. I think they probably fired the water boy, the kid manager. You know what I'm saying? Football in some parts of the world is a religion, guys, and that's how it is. I was like shocked, and I'm like, where have I gone myself into? But um, Oscar understands that he's in a privileged position in MLS because we lose games and the fans want hugs, and the club gives us the opportunity to asking questions, and then you have people asking boxers or briefs, what's your favorite restaurant, what's your favorite ice cream. Not me. I ask the tough questions. How are we gonna play? How you deal with this? How you deal with that? Because and Oscar has told me personally, he's like, "Ugh, thank God that you asked those questions, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to lay out a vision. But if people want to treat it as I'm here to talk to my friend, then it's just not gonna happen."
Yeah, it's a very, like I said, it's a very interesting situation because you don't, when you look at things like that when they happen. I look back at our situation and I'm like, okay, so maybe we're not totally nuts, right? It just helps me say, you know what? Okay, so it's about what we as fans expect from our teams, right? And I feel like that's the difference. And to your point, David, you've said it in the past. Maybe our expectations are different than others' expectations, right? Um, but I feel like that's really where you end up seeing it. You end up seeing it there, and it's just, I mean, by most people's accounts, that team is a successful team. Over one title match that you don't make it to the final, and there were some significantly questionable calls, he's gone. If we said those same things here, well, we kind of did. People would be like, "You guys are out of your minds." I don't know. All right. So on to now more news. Our next match, as we had mentioned, will be against the Rowdies this Wednesday. Is what
Oh,
time?
before we go, that we have some comments. I believe
Oh,
for
I didn't. Thank you. I did not see that. Thank you, David. Thank you. Let me see here. Oh, Johnny Ridner is joining us.
new father, my friend.
Yes,
Más futuro that
congratulations.
as well.
Congratulations. He says, I know I'm late, but I want to interject something. Here we go. He goes on to say, these are lengthy, so I'll read them off as they come up on the screen. The team has so much potential, but we're relying on one player to help us push through the midfield, which is Atuesta. When he isn't playing, the team slows down and everything becomes so damn stiff, and it's unacceptable that we've pinned ourselves into this situation. 100% agree. I believe you posted the stats, David, that the team has not won a game without Atuesta. Yes, we did. And then, actually, I don't think David posted it. Somebody else did, but we were talking about it earlier. And then Johnny goes on to say that having Chicago go down to 10 men and for us not to score against them is insane. The moment they went down to 10 men, the formation should have switched and several players for us to push through the bunker. Then he goes on to say, this team will never be a proper top team, and I mean top 5 in the league consistently, like Columbus, Cincinnati, LAFC, etc., etc. We lack the proper depth when we lose a player. It's not acceptable, flat out. What makes you a good club from a great club? It's not the ability to beat the lower teams, but also to stand tall against the top teams. This team is a mid-level team with the potential of being a top-level team if we can properly deliver a roster with depth. Thank you very much, Johnny.
Appreciate that, my
I
friend.
think you spoke what we were thinking, what a lot of people are thinking.
Yeah, well, you say that, and then your cool names and the pitchforks and the torches come out. But
But
you
but
know,
yeah,
it's the show, any podcast, either us or our friends that do other shows. You gotta be critical because that's what this is. If you're tuning into a podcast for rah 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 rah, go team. I'm sorry that if you want that, the club produces a ton of content in that regards. They don't sign my paycheck. In fact, I do this out of I pay for this. Just so we pay to broadcast. So we're gonna be critical. And by the way, criticism doesn't mean we don't respect individuals. And I'm tired of saying this because I Oscar himself has told me, hey, I tell my family not to, but they watch, they read, and you guys are the customer. I'm perfectly okay. You guys, because we have never said go beat him up, burn his car, nothing like that. We never said anything like that, and that happens overseas. In fact, Ahmed and I just spoke about managers needing police protection. You know what I mean? Because they lost a game and that cost them their jobs. Um, in the end, guys, that's what the show is all about. Talking about how we can improve and this and that and the other. I believe, like I said, we had some impromptu things that were not in the cards, and unfortunately, that's what happened. So with that, we finished the Chicago thing, and now let's talk about happier moments, like the one that is gonna happen this Wednesday, hopefully.
yes. So this Wednesday we are going out to St. Pete for the U.S. Open Cup, and we will be playing the Tampa Bay Rowdies. I have not personally been to this stadium before. Um, this is going to be a fun experience. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to a good outcome, but most importantly, I'm looking forward to a good match. If we play, we need to play this. I mean, this is a tournament. We need to lay it out on the line. We can't hold back. Thoughts, gents?
Go ahead.
No, definitely, I agree with you. it's I don't want to rag on USL teams or whatever, um, but it is a USL team, and we need to show, establish who we are and what league we're in, and it's our rival, So we got to go down there with that mentality, and hopefully, I'm sure Poppy's probably going to do some moving around some pieces, and maybe give like Nico a start and stuff like that, which I don't mind. But we definitely need to come out of there with a win. We don't need to hear any more of the of what's going on online. People are going back and forth already. We're expecting to have a lot of our fans make the trip down there. Hopefully everyone's safe. Um, and yeah, we just got to get the W. I'm excited for it.
I am too. Al Lang Stadium, 7:30 p.m. Wednesday, May 7th, U.S. Open Cup, Orlando City versus the Tampa Bay.
And if you're wondering where to watch the game, it's gonna be on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
Yes, you heard that right. If you don't have it, you're gonna have to be like me, get the 7.99, or get the free trial or whatnot. We'll see how it goes. I never been to a game there, but I believe last year my wife guilted me into taking the family out to St. Pete on a game night, which I missed the game in Orlando. We went out to St. Pete, and hold and behold, the hotel was across the street from the stadium, and we were this close from buying tickets to just sit there and watch some live football. And my wife was like, "No, you gotta be kidding me! If you do that, divorce papers." So I was like, "Okay, well." you know I will stay here, but the funny thing is we watched the game from our window for free. And I think the Rowdies won that game, but anyhow, the point is it's a beautiful venue. The area is gorgeous, but we're there to do some business. I'm not uh I'm not what's the word, a anyhow, I don't believe in like luck in the universes or anything like that. Um but we won the tournament by playing and beating the Rowdies in the first round. So who knows, maybe this is a sign from the stars that we're destined to do that. We are the favorite in the tournament. The way MLS has done it, the MLS teams in it are not very good, and we're the best out of them, out of all of them, and the rest of the teams in it still are practically USL teams and some reserves. So it's for Orlando City to win it. Tampa Bay Rowdies is gonna throw everything at us, but the sink, and maybe they will do that as well. We gotta win. I mean, there's no excuse. We are an MLS club, and for those that don't understand where the bad blood comes, when we were in USL and MLS wanted to return to Florida, uh, Orlando and Tampa were fighting to be that city. Tampa, obviously, with the mutiny, they already had experience with MLS, and they thought they were a shoo-in. And here comes Orlando to ruin the day. So there was a lot of back and forth between the fan bases, a lot of bad blood. We beat them 7 times in a row, as the song says. And the fact is that they have never been able to beat our first team. They have defeated OCB in the brief time that we shared the league with them in USL Championship, but not the first team. Last year, we knocked them out of the stadium at home. We destroy them. The 200 poor souls that made that trek, got a taste of what it's like to be in the big leagues. This time around, we are the ones visiting. Reports already said that over 500 fans from Orlando City are going to be down there. Uh, I'm just going to say it. Let's not be stupid. Let's not get ourselves arrested. Let's go have a good time. Remember, guys, the war has already been won. We are on our 11th season in MLS. They're still they're still in USL. After we defeated them in 2022, to me, there's no rivalry. We're here and they're down here. There's is no comparison. We're
Mm.
not in the same level. It was great while it lasted. It's not a rivalry. It really isn't. This is business, what we're taking care of on Wednesday, and we're just
Oh
gonna
yeah.
go and do what we have to do. Our cop said, not on our watch. It's just not. Once again, we win this thing, we bring another cup to the stadium, and we return to Champions League to do better than Fifanel Pesi, for sure. So, and who knows? We win that thing, we could be the next Vancouver. Who knows? So, to
Oh,
me, there's a lot on the table, a lot of meat on the table. Sharpen the knife and start butchering, baby.
oh
So,
my God.
as far as Rowdies, I haven't been keeping up with them. I don't know where are they on the league, on the table. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm too good looking. I make too much money. I support the biggest club in Florida with the biggest fan base, and I just don't have time for the minnows of the football world here in the state. So, with that said, just go down there and just beat them. And right now, the only anger in my veins is the fact that I have to pay for another freaking service to watch my team. But it is what it is.
Thank you for bringing up Vancouver. On behalf of the whole podcast and every Orlando City fan out there, we would all like to thank the Vancouver Whitecaps
Football one, baby.
for their.
Yeah.
We were all Vancouver at that match, right? If you did not watch it, it was the second leg of the CCL. Vancouver was playing Pessy and Friends at home, at their makeshift uh, bleachers of a stadium, um, and they won. They won tremendously, and it was just a very that's how you play. That's how you play that game, and I am hoping that my club during the next tournament with Pessy and Friends can show us a repeat of that.
Listen, if it wasn't because the tickets are like a mortgage payment, I would
God,
have
don't even
joined you there, and and
listen.
more so. I mean, I would have bought a jersey as well. You know what? People already have confused me with Egyptian, anyways, because North African blood runs through my veins, and I have two Moroccan cousins, by the way. I don't know if I ever revealed that.
Oh no, no.
Yeah, yeah, I have two Moroccan Jewish cousins. We are separated by 10 generations, but yeah. So I did my DNA test, so I do have Moroccan family. Anyhow, so yeah, every time I go to in fact, I went to a Lebanese restaurant down Cold Flames in Melbourne. Shout out, delicious. I got the shawarma. You know what I'm saying? With
Hmm.
the pita bread. I mean, delicious, delicious. And the ham say all that. Hey, listen, let's not go down. But anyhow, the lady was asking me if I was from the Middle East. I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm just a good looking fella. Yeah, that's you know what I'm saying. But yeah, you would have seen me with an Egyptian flag waving that. I'm telling you, I would have gone all out. So maybe next time, my friend. Maybe next
I
time
know,
we'll,
man.
we'll do that. But and by the way, in Puerto Rico, I grew up with friends from Egypt and Palestinians and Syrian. There's an Arabic community in Puerto Rico, but we'll leave that for another topic. But yeah, bro, I pray. I pray that your boys just do the work
Oh, yes,
in
that would be so
front
fun.
of the universe, because that, by the way, that's the game that's opening
It's the
the
opening match
tournament.
of the tournament. Yes, I know. And that's
Yeah,
what really worries me with the recent coaching change, even though the interim coach is actually the previous coach. So that's not a bad thing. It's not like somebody totally, but there's
listen,
just so many
I watched
variables,
the videos.
and then it's FIFA, and then it's FIFA, man. I mean,
I
come on.
watched the highlights of your team. I have seen that, and I don't think you have anything to worry about. Young, fast, aggressive football, the kind that I like. And I just don't think that the Messi's ready for the Middle Eastern fans.
Yes.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
Oh,
It's just like the Israeli league. I just love it. Because if you're gonna crap housing, if you're gonna go that route, you go all in or you don't. And I
hmm
just don't think it. Do you have an idea how many fans are making the trip?
no, I don't yet. I'm trying to find that out
I'm
because I.
assuming that a lot of people from the states who are like
Yep.
you are gonna do it. So
But you know what it is? The tickets are so expensive. Like
how,
they really
if
are.
you
It's
don't mind,
insane.
brother, sharing how much you pay for your tickets.
The one ticket I bought was $500.
Wow. Yeah. Because my
Yeah.
I was thinking
Bro,
about.
$500 for a ticket, and it wasn't even like, please don't even be. The
But
cheapest ticket that I could find was like $380. And if you've ever been to Hard Rock Stadium, that is like
yeah, I
all the
seen I
way.
seen the stadium from the outside. I know
Nosebleed, the
exactly what.
nosebleeds. Yeah.
Like I might as well watch it on TV.
No, but it's the fact you want to be there with your peeps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if Maccabi Haifa or Steven would have made the cup, which
But I
Steven
understand.
Harcel,
Like,
but
I get it. I get it. It's
you
Pestle
know,
and Friends. It's the opening game. But
right.
$500 for like a decent ticket?
I will pay it, brother.
I
Because
have to.
Juventus and Manchester City at the Citrus Bowl, it's going for four times that. And I was thinking about going to the game between the South Korean team and the Saudi Arabian team that is going
Uh-huh.
to be playing at our stadium. Just so because I figure, hey, nobody gives a crap about these two teams. Maybe it's going to be cheap enough for us to check the box saying, hey, I went to a Club World Cup. So
Speaking of players and teams for the FIFA Club World Cup, my son sent me an article before that there's a rumor going around that of Cristiano Ronaldo going to Palmeiras.
Oh.
to play with our good old boy
Facundo
Facundo
Torres.
Torres.
Can you imagine that?
Oh, they maybe he can say, "Hey, my friend, join Orlando City." Who know? You know what? If that happens,
Oh God.
Ricardo Moreira, my guy, send the dogs. Send the dogs. Let's catch this guy and give him a deal that he cannot refuse.
I gotta see this kid.
Nothing against Saudi Arabia. Okay, I've been to Bahrain, I've been to the UAE, I've been to Egypt, and beautiful people treated me super nice. I had to keep, I was pinned in a lobby in a hotel in Dubai. This guy, I kept telling him, I'm not Arabic, I'm Puerto Rican. He didn't believe me. To the point where he wanted my passport. He just couldn't believe that. Hey, this guy looks like me, but he's not from here. But hey, the reality is that I take Orlando over anywhere in Saudi Arabia right now, especially in the summertime. Because I tell you what, I've been into that part of the world, and yeah, I've seen people's souls on their boots just melt away. Let's just say that. So Ronaldo, if you are there, we love you in Orlando, and if you score against Messi and company, and you do your celebration, just know that as the paramedics take me away with my last breath, I will saying that I love you. So that's the fact. I don't see myself surviving that event at my I'm almost 50, so and heart condition as is.
Oh
So
my gosh.
so yeah, let's
Can
make
you
it happen.
imagine?
Let's make it
That would
happen.
be crazy. That would be if he would just played for Palmeiras and then he ended up being the FIFA Club World Cup. Because that's. I wonder if they're in the same group. Hold on. I'm pretty sure they are. They're in the
I
same
think
group
so.
as Inter Miami and my club and
Yeah,
Portland.
but I believe that Palmeiras is gonna be playing them somewhere else, not in Florida. Your
No, I think it's
club,
in
that
New
is.
Jersey. In they call it New York, but.
Yeah. Okay. So hey, listen. You could probably make
That's
that trip.
probably cheaper for me to get on a plane and fly to Jersey to watch a game than the one
No,
that
no,
I'm gonna
because
drive.
it messes what's skying the prices.
Yeah,
Shame on them, but hey, it is what it is.
yeah,
Um, so good luck to the boys from the Nile.
yeah.
And that I hope that they can destroy Inter Miami. Guys, Jesus, we're running out of time. What do we have to talk about Saturday? Show up, New England Revolution. We're playing New England Revolution.
Yep,
Um,
7:30.
Saturday, 7:30. That's also the wrestling night.
right. And Ahmed, if you can, I'm sorry, Misael, since basically I went on talking about stupid crap. Your thoughts about what's gonna happen this Saturday?
Oof. This Saturday, I guess, honestly, in my opinion, it would all depends on what happens on Wednesday. Who Puppy decides to play. Obviously, will determine on who's going to start. I guess on Saturday. I'm assuming if he has some of our starters start on Wednesday, he probably will let them rest at least the first half on Saturday. If not, vice versa. Should be a good night. I don't know exactly where New England is on the table.
They're right below us at ninth. We're at eighth. They're at ninth.
Okay, I do know that I did see the other day Leo Campana's back. Very good striker. He had 2 goals. When was that yesterday or Saturday? He had 2 goals and they won their game 2-0. So yeah, very dangerous up top. And we just got to score goals, man. We got to score goals. Hopefully, we can draw in a good crowd here with the wrestling night, some wrestling fans.
Yeah.
That is Saturday at 7:30. I also want to point out that the Orlando Pride plays Saturday at 7:30 as well versus North Carolina Courage. For those who are interested in that game.
For sure. And yeah, New England comes from beating Toronto at Toronto
That's
2-0. On honestly, Toronto loses another game. I just don't think their manager will survive that one. All I gotta say is New England has been a bogey team for us for a long while. Um, quite honestly, depending on what happens, you good teams go smash our USL team midweek, and they come home and they give the fans what they want, which is a win and goals. So we
Oh,
even if we show up, and it's a Papi special. Come on, we gotta score at home. We gotta give the boys, the fans, what they want, and win that game. So to me, it has to be 2 wins this week or nothing else.
definitely, and I agree with you. I was gonna say the same, but I'm kind of going by our history and what Puppy likes to do, and his history. Maybe he can do something different, but history tells me if he goes with some of our starters this Wednesday, at least the beginning of the game on Saturday, that he will rest them, or like I said, or vice versa. Obviously, if he goes with more of the bench players on Wednesday, then I guess the starters will get the nod on Saturday. But I agree. Technically, we should be able to go there Wednesday, knock their head off, and come Saturday and do the same thing. I mean, like you said, that's what real
No,
teams do.
absolutely. And to
Yeah.
give you guys some perspective before I turn over the microphone to Ahmed to wrap it up. Um, this Wednesday we have the Pittsburgh Riverhounds welcoming New York City at 7 p.m. 7:30. Louisville City hosting Minnesota. Philadelphia will be hosting Indy 11. Um, the USL reigning champions, Rhode Island FC, are going to be hosting New England. So the no excuse. I mean, they are they're basically playing the guys down the road themselves before coming to us. Then Rowdies, like we said, hosting Orlando City down in St. Pete. Chicago will be hosting Detroit City. Dallas will be hosting who is this team? Hold on a second. This is AV Alta, AFC. I don't know who they are, so congrats. St. Louis hosting Union Omaha, USL League One team. Obviously punching way above their weight. And then we have Austin welcoming El Paso Locomotive. Then we have Phoenix Rising hosting Houston, San Jose hosting the Sacramento Republic, team that is trying to make it back to the good graces. Obviously, we played them in the final in 2022. They're a very good team, and we wish everybody the best. But obviously, we want Orlando City to win, so that's what we have. Before I go, I want to thank the 25 plus people that join us tonight. Everybody that's gonna watch this later. Everybody that is listening to us on audio. Our audio audience is growing every week. So thank you for that. I get it. You don't want to see us. You don't want to see me. I get it, but you want to hear my voice. I always said it. I have a voice for radio and a face for radio and and a voice for TV. So I get that part. Thank you very much, guys. And to our good friend John. Hopefully, things will get better and you'll be able to join us next week. Every week there's something. There's something. Maybe next week I won't be able to make it. Who knows? So thank you very much, guys. So follow us on social media. We always try to post videos and things that will find interesting. Have a good time because at the end of the day, we're not here trying to pretending to be professional broadcasters or journalists. We're just four dudes that love this club long enough to set aside 90 minutes every Monday to talk with you guys. Thank you to the guys that commented. And that's it. What else, man?
Nothing, man. You said it. So just support the team. We got 2 games coming up. And hopefully we win both. Perfect world. Right? Perfect. Perfect girl. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. So, on behalf of the whole team here, we're going to leave you the only way we know how, reminding you that football is played on grass, not on paper. That football is cruel and unpredictable. That football is a pound of talent and an ounce of luck. And if you have not cried for joy or anger over football, have you really footballed? For David, Misael, John, and myself, may God bless you. And as always, vamos, Orlando!